always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means.
Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I say welcome back because me and Ed were literally here about 3.5 hours ago. We were here around about that, and we were doing Worlds Collide post show. If you haven't gone to see that, make sure you go and check that out. But before you do any of that, we have just seen the most, and I mean this in the most English way I could possibly put it, shithousery ending of a premium live event WWE could do. And I think that it's probably the most brilliant ending to a show in a very long time. But we're going to get into all of that. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to our local establishment. And if you're on my new branded show, well, not branded, I've just got a new picture. Basically what I've done. So hello, Munson. Hope you're doing well. And we are, yes, long time no see. We are here. Before we get into matches and our deep dive into our knowledge of it, I want to get your instant reaction to not only the ending but your overall thoughts of Money in the Bank.
I thought it was a good show. It did the thing. Like, it did the thing it needed to do. It told stories. It pushed what narrative they're going to be telling in all of the divisions. We have storyline galore everywhere. Like, it did the thing. Dominik Mysterio had a nothing match, but it was a fun time, and I enjoyed watching it. But, like, it was the most, hey, let's just put this on the card because why not? I mean, they could have ended the show half an hour earlier if they just didn't have that match, which would have been nice for Mark.
Yeah, it would have been much nicer. For me anyway. For my overall thoughts,
it's still only 10:30, and we're talking about a 3.5 hour show, and we're done. Like,
it's 3:30 for me.
Oh.
It's 3:30 in the morning. Yes, we need more of this. Yes,
he was there tonight. He was there.
He was ready to go. Astrid is in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Weekend rates were too expensive to have her on here as well. So she is in the background listening to us. So, right. My overall thoughts was we've been played and massively been played. Triple H and whoever
I don't think we've been played.
Oh,
but
we've been that contract has been renewed.
Heard what was said and goes, here, I'll shut y'all up, and did it.
Do you know what the thing is? I think that contract's been signed. I think a new contract has been done.
It's been signed. Hot take, everybody. I think that they can get R-Truth to do everything R-Truth's done for the past 4 years under a Legends contract for half the price.
Yeah.
Hot take. He's not that important.
He's not. And I do find it hilarious. And I thought about this as well. And I don't know how to say this without insulting people, but all the people that said it was a terrible idea that R-Truth was having a match against John Cena, then decided that it was a great idea because he then was going, but he hadn't done anything before that. He turned up in segments, made people laugh, and walked out. Hadn't really had a match in a very long time. So I'm very much on the opinion of.
So here's the thing on the R-Truth thing that I think, and Peggy's got, they're in the WWE currently in talks to market him more. They walked back. I don't think it was work. I don't think it's a work either. Here's the thing: R-Truth wasn't released. R-Truth was told that when his contract runs out, whenever that might be, he's not going to be re-signed. Which means up until that time, they can use him. Here's the thing: Triple H, unlike Vince McMahon, when he decides that he's no longer going to renew your contract, doesn't always banish people. Oh, market him Mr. Iguana. Okay, I thought we were still talking about R-Truth.
Yes.
I apologize. I thought we were talking about R-Truth. No, but Triple H has shown in both NXT and WWE that just because we're not renewing your contract doesn't mean we can't make money off of you on TV. Like, they had the dyad on TV until about a month before their contract actually expired. And they were going away for 4 months beforehand. They were told 4 months prior that they weren't going to be on, Gibson and Drake.
Oh, yeah.
Those grizzled young veterans, they were the dyad on NXT. And there were 4 months that they were still working. And I was like, well, they're going to lose this match because they're leaving. And they won matches because they've decided, smartly enough, use the people while you have them. Let them do what they're going to do. If they're going to make money, make money. Like, he heard the crowd chanting, "We want truth." He saw the internet saying, "We want truth," and goes, well, he's still under contract. Truth. It's fucking brilliant. And it doesn't, they still don't have to sign him to a new deal.
No, and it's I'm so interested now to see what they're going to do next thing, because it just screams that they've got this opportunity now to really go. R-Truth could go, well, I was never really leaving. Everything was fine. They can really play around with this. I'm interested to see, but right, we'll get into that a little bit later on, but let's get into the first match of the night. And it was the first match to kick things off, and it was the women's fucking pixelated. Why is it pixelated? It was fine when I downloaded it earlier. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match before we did Worlds Collide. Me and Ed did a prediction. I wanted Stephanie Vaquer to win. Ed thought it was going to be Roxanne Perez.
We were both very wrong.
Very wrong. This was a very good match. We saw Devil's Kiss on top of a ladder. We saw everyone throwing their bodies onto the floor and doing anything that they possibly can to try and make a name for themselves. I think walking out of this, you've got stories everywhere around this, that you can move forward with this. We know that Giulia is most probably going to go after the Women's United States Championship. Roxanne Perez looks like there's going to go into a storyline with the Judgment Day alongside with Liv Morgan. You got Alexa Bliss that's going to have all the Wyatt Six stuff. Stephanie Vaquer, the woman can go anywhere she wants, maybe into a program with Rhea. Who knows, with Io Sky as well, or do something like that. Because Io and Stephanie still haven't really finished their match that they had before, when it got rudely interrupted by Roxanne and Giulia in that match. Your thoughts about the winner? Because thinking about it and thinking about the person who won it, I put in our Discord what I think's going to happen. I think I might be spot on with this. And I think that this is a brilliant booking from WWE.
So here's the thing with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I like Naomi. Don't get me wrong. I like Naomi. I've never loved Naomi. I've never been the biggest Naomi fan. I don't believe in Naomi as a champion. I love the attitude. I hate the gimmick. The whole proceed with caution thing is a little annoying, and I've already run my course with it, and it's only been like 4 months. However, you can tell a compelling storyline with her, but it revolves around Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want that being the top of my women's division, because I don't want Jade near the top of my women's division. For the same reason that I haven't wanted her at the top of any women's division since she got here. She's not ready to wrestle at the kind of level that she needs to be at the top of a women's division. Not
I
here.
disagree.
Not with these talents.
No, I disagree. I think the match that she had at WrestleMania with Naomi, we can say both women put all of that into that, and they both did everything. And you saw the difference in Jade's match where she slowed things down. She wasn't over rushing things that she has done before, where she was trying to make an impact. She slowed it down, and then she had a really good match with Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown, and I was like, that's the money maker that I needed from Jade. That's the match type that I need to see from her. And that's why I feel like when I'll let you go on and say the rest of your bit from it, but what I think's going to happen, I think makes more sense. I think it makes sense now why they've gone with Naomi cashing in.
And like I said, I don't disagree with the choice. Here's the thing. This is a choice that's going to make the fan base happy. After years of everybody being back and forth, hit or miss, this is going to be a largely IWC positive decision, which Triple H could use at this point because he's been getting battered a little bit by the IWC. Having Naomi as Miss Money in the Bank is going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. There's nothing wrong with it. But I don't know if we talked about on the pre-show how they could strap rockets to Giulia, Roxanne, or Stephanie within months of being on the main roster, putting the Money in the Bank in their hands. I think it's really interesting to decide what you want to do with Giulia if you put the Money in the Bank in your hands. Also, we have to talk about this every time a woman wins Money in the Bank until they lose the cash-in. We have to talk about the fact of who's going to be the first woman to fail at their cash-in. Just like with the men. We had that same discussion until a man lost the cash-in. It's who's going to be the first person to lose. And Naomi feels like, to me, somebody who could lose their Money in the Bank cash-in.
Oh God, you can't. You can't have her lose it. You can't.
Why?
Because you can already see the narrative that's going to happen to it. You can already see
the
it.
narrative that's going to happen to
it.
it.
Yeah, that's why you can't do with this one.
I think you can protect Naomi in this by doing a very interesting booking based off of your booking. So your booking was that
so Jade's going to win Queen of the Ring. She's then going to go to SummerSlam, beat Tiffy, win the title. As soon as she's won it after a grueling match, Naomi comes out and cashes in on her.
Here's the way that you flip the script to make this an understandable loss for Naomi. And it's the exact same booking with one caveat. You have Bianca cost her the cash-in. You don't turn Bianca heel, and at SummerSlam, Bianca comes out because you're building a feud between Naomi and Bianca right now. They've just started building that feud. There's no reason in 3 months when we get to August and SummerSlam in New York City that you cannot have that there's a reason you can have her lose and you can have Bianca cost her that championship. Just like John Cena cost Baron Corbin when Baron Corbin tried to cash in on Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, I'm still baffling. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get where you're coming with this, and I think, how do I put this? Okay, I think that the only way you save it is by having those three women involved.
Yeah,
I think if you put,
if you put the three of them.
Yeah, because you can't add anyone else.
No,
you cannot add anyone else in.
You can, you shouldn't.
You can, but then. It's not. You can save it to that. It's not 3. It's 2 months until SummerSlam because it's in August. In there, but and I'm interested to see
the end of August.
Yeah. I'm interested to see as well because at this precise moment, Bianca hasn't got the right to stop Naomi from cashing that in, right? because
So, yeah.
basically all that Naomi's done is try to be her friend and try and prove it. And
Well,
Bianca's
she also broke into her home and tried to go see her mom when they were in Knoxville this week.
yeah,
So.
that's probably the start of it there. Yeah, and the wheelchair and all of that start of that is this. Yeah, I just think that if Naomi's going to be, is going to be the person that fails. I think WWE, like Naomi's gimmick at the moment, they have to proceed with caution because you've got a select part of the internet right now that thinks that there is WWE are against them, and you need to be very cautious with how they do it. So I think you're right. I think if there's a way of doing it,
representation matters, and how you portray certain people on television matters. But I think that there's a wrestling logic way that you can do this, that you can make Naomi a bigger heel by having her lose this cash-in. And like I said, you don't have to have her lose. I'm not advocating for her to lose. I'm just simply asking the question that we should be asking every year until somebody does lose, is this the person that breaks the 100% streak? Because at some point, somebody's going to have to.
Exactly what I just said.
This is Joe,
a theory I've heard.
Joe got in here a little bit late, so he might have missed that. Yeah. But yes, that is exactly what we think is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm
saying that there's a way to do this where you have Bianca cost her the cash in on Jade.
Yeah, very much. So we're very much putting the devil's advocate out there. We're not saying that's what's going to happen.
I like Naomi winning. I think Naomi winning is an interesting and smart decision. Like I said earlier, 6 women were in this match. There were 6 good options for who wins this, and the least good option was Alexa Bliss. Every other option has storyline implications that you could do.
Yeah.
Because with Naomi, we just talked about all the outs. With Roxanne, like I said earlier, it's all the Judgment Day stuff. And how does this play with Liv? And how does all that work?
Mm-hmm.
With Stephanie Vaquer, it's, I just got here. Guess what? I'm the winner of Money in the Bank. I'm going straight to the top. I'm La Primera. Rhea Ripley obviously is Mommy. Mommy in the Bank has cachet to it. Makes a lot of sense. And then, of course, then you go back into the she can't beat Io Sky.
Yeah.
So then does she resort to heel tendencies to cash in on an Io Sky? Like, there were interesting storyline dilemmas for every competitor who wins this, depending who it was. Now that we know that it's Naomi, it sounds like we're probably going the Jade route. That's the route that I think we should go. I think that's the route you think we should go. And that's the route that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I think it may. Or you could put Bianca as winning the title,
and then win. Yep,
that type of way.
And then you just flip flop Jade and Bianca in that storyline.
Absolutely.
You have Jade There's a lot of
sort of. Yeah, right. Let's get into the next match, and we're going to be talking about the greatest luchador that has ever existed. There's not a graphic because it happened about 5 minutes before Money in the Bank actually started. It was.
Go ahead. Talk about this match. I'll get you.
Okay. We're going to be talking about Dominik Mysterio, the greatest luchador of all time, against. Is it Octagon Jr.?
Octagon Jr., yes.
Octagon Jr. It was very much a match of Dominik Mysterio trying to piss off everyone in AAA. It was very much of him trying to get under the skin, him trying to have a heel tendency. But what I think WWE will now find is that Dominik Mysterio is now not a fully fledged heel anymore. He now has supporters. He now has people in crowds actually chanting his name and doing it. So they have to be careful now with how they're going to book him. I feel like that Intercontinental Championship is going to do some traveling. I feel like after that match, it's going to be heading down to Mexico for a couple of matches alongside with Dominik Mysterio. I also feel like as well that this was a very good showcase as well for AAA. For those people, it was very much for, well, here is what AAA did earlier if you've enjoyed this little bit of what Octagon Junior did now, why don't you go and watch Worlds Collide? Because if you watch Worlds Collide, you'll turn into me and you want to see Mr. Iguana and you want to see what happens to the rest of the show. And you want to do that with that. So it's very much. There we go. See, most beautiful. Look at that most beautiful mustache ever as well. But yeah. So I thought that this was really good. It was what it was. We knew who the winner was going to be. It was very much for me a showcase for AAA for those people who hadn't watched it. Ed, your thoughts?
Oh, this was great. It was like you said, it was another in partnership with our new people at AAA. It was a way to get somebody on this card to continue promoting. We had Worlds Collide earlier today. Here are all these wonderful stars from AAA that we want you to see. In the crowd, we had Vikingo, we had Dr. Wagner, El Hito de Dr. Wagner Jr., and then we had Cycle Club. All in the crowd. They were out there. They were continuing to promote the wonderful sport that they love. They're continuing to promote AAA. They're continuing to do all the things. Mr. Iguana was out there as well in a different portion of the crowd.
The goat.
With Lysica, the Iguana. It was fantastic. And you know what? This match was great. It didn't do anything special. It did what it needed to do. It made Dominik Mysterio the babyface heel that he is. And at the end of the day, it filled 20 minutes worth of time so that they could pad out this card to 10:30.
Yeah. Very much so.
It was fine. It did the thing it needed to do. It didn't do anything more. It didn't do anything less. I was surprised at how well Octagon Jr. worked, considering this was his second match, and he was heavily featured in his first match.
Yeah. It is very, very different to the Stephanie Vaquer environment, where she wasn't really featured that much in her first match, but then in the second, in the Money in the Bank, she was heavily featured. But with this one, Octagon Jr. was very much heavily featured in both matches. So it was good. It was very, very good. So let's move on to the next match. And if I'm correct, we're going to go with this. It is the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. I think I was sat on the fence of this one. I didn't really make a decision. I thought Lyra might win it. Then Ed swerved me with when he said about that Becky could cheat now to get Lyra to lift her hand. And the bastard was right. And it annoyed me that Ed was right. Do you know what even annoyed me even more? That when he won the match, I could just see the smugness of your face as this stuff was happening. It really irritated me.
Hold on. I have something for this, but I have to.
No, for fuck's sake.
All right. We have to change brands for 1 second because I don't have.
No, go on then.
That's fine. Get me the Worlds Collide brand. No, it won't let me change brands. Turn to the Taking Over brand.
What am I doing? Taking over.
Taking over. Yeah.
Yes.
I have a video for this.
I'm right. I'm right. I'm in the right.
Yeah. Okay, we can go back to the other one.
I hate the fact that you have that. That annoys me more than anything that you have that. I'll go with that one.
Okay. Yeah, no, but I have that because I'm right often enough that, and when he did it, I was just like, I have to have it. I have to have that clip. And now I do. And so when things like this happen and people go, I'm so mad and was right, I could just go, play button.
So I think we both agreed that this was probably the direction it was going to go in. I think, yeah, I know. It's very much. I also think as well that I had a little bit. I think that at SummerSlam it's going to be a triple threat.
Yep.
I think, but then also at the same time we got Queen of the Ring. But we've already discussed the SmackDown side is going to win that one. And the Queen and King of the Ring. I think the SmackDown side is going to win that one. For that,
you can do Jade or Bianca versus Tiffany without Queen of the Ring, but I don't think that's the route you go.
Yeah,
you don't need Queen of the Ring to do it, but I think you do.
You don't, but I think it's the right thing to do. So Hulk, the match did nothing for him. but the direction did make sense. That's how he thought during that. I think that's the match did
this is
more
Dominik
help.
Mysterio match. Oh no, this might be this one. No, this might be the one.
Yeah, so I think that Lyra showcased more, and I have been wrong before, and I said this, and I apologize before, and this was Stand and Deliver about a year and a half ago. When I called Carmelo Hayes turning on Trick about a year before, by the way. I stand by how good I nailed that.
We don't give you credit for that. Yes.
Yes, no one gives me credit. It's really irritating. But what I said that Lyra Valkyria's level was NXT and it wasn't going to go beyond, and I was completely and utterly wrong. On that one. And to see her improve so much, she's improved a heck of a lot more since she's left NXT than when she was in it, and I think that it's great to see. I think it was more of a showcase for her. And Becky just going, right, let's get you to showcase well. I'm just going to cheat to win. And that's exactly what happened. I know you're not a massive Becky Lynch fan. We know that. But you can sort of understand why they've done what they've done.
Oh, absolutely. As I said to Asher when she asked, when I put the Blake Shelton hands in his face after the match ended, and she's like, what happened? And I'm like, Becky won. She cheated to win. And she was like, oh, I figured. And I'm like, look, it's the only logical decision. Like, legitimately, when you took this line to get to this match with, if Becky loses, she can't challenge. If Becky wins, then you have to have Lyra raise her hand. This was the only outcome that made any sense. You have to go this way, and you have to do these things. Yes, I do hate Becky Lynch. Yes, I do love Charlotte Flair STG. I'm a very big Charlotte Flair fan. I hide no ifs, ands, or buts about either of those things. I like this match.
I really hope the bottom one is false as well.
Nope. I've had multiple run-ins with her outside of the wrestling world that were not great back in the day. So no, not a big fan.
Yeah, thank you. Perfect. That's fine. We can carry on.
Well, like I said, they're personal things. This has nothing to do with her now. These are things from when she was a much younger person. Before she had as good a head on her shoulders, I'm sure she's wonderful. No, I think this is the right decision. I think this was the only decision you could make. When you put yourself in a specific position, you have to do certain things. The specific position that we were put in this time is you had to have Lyra Valkyria reluctantly raise Becky's hand. How do you do that? Becky cheats to win. That's where we were at. That's what we had to do. We did it. Good. Check mark. Mission accomplished. Lyra gets her heat back immediately because Becky's a self-centered, it's an egotistical bitch who makes her raise her hand over all four corners, makes her raise her hand twice, goes ahead and makes her put the title on her. She does all the heel things that needs to do so that Lyra, the babyface, gets her heat back when she goes ahead and suplexes her and nightwings her. Perfect. We've set up Lyra versus Becky 3. This is the one where Bayley can come back. This is the one, I think, where Bayley accidentally costs Lyra the match and goes ahead and has Becky win so that we move on. And I think that happens at Evolution. So that when we get to SummerSlam, I think it's the one-on-one.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, we have Evolution on July 13th. Just over a month away.
Yeah.
Because guess what? We've got Nikki Bella coming back. The Nikki Bella who said that she wasn't going to be at Evolution even if it happened because she's filming a movie. And it just so happens that she returns a month before Evolution. It's a coincidence, right? Means nothing. It doesn't mean she's going to be there.
Please let it mean nothing. I love.
Going to be there. The women's tag team title match is going to be the Bella Twins versus Liv and Raquel.
No.
And the Bellas are going to get their first ever women's tag team championship reign. I'm telling you right now, that's what's going to happen. So cue the I'm right for the post show for Evolution when hopefully we
can't do the post show for Evolution. That's the women.
We're not going to do the women. We're gonna enlist some friends hopefully that we can go ahead and do the Evolution post show.
Yeah, we can't.
I mean, we could.
We'll just message each other. That's the best we can do.
We will definitely message each other. But yes, no, I thought this match was great. I thought the women's Intercontinental title match was exactly what it needed to be. It didn't take too long. It did all the things it needed to do. And at the end of the day, as much as I dislike it, the right person won the match for the storyline we're telling.
Yeah.
Good on WWE for telling a compelling, predictable, but competent story that fucking makes sense. That's all I ask. Tell me stories that both entertain me and make sense. This match did both.
Very much so. I'm in complete agreement. Right, we're going to get into the next match.
Mark is very tired, so this show is going to go a lot quicker than the Worlds Collide show earlier.
Yes, we're talking matches. We don't... No more jibber jabbering. We will discuss matches and any topics or conversations you have in the chat. We will discuss that as well. And then as soon as I'm dying, I will then go. As you can tell by the clock, it's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, nearly there. I'm very tired. So here we go. Next one, and one of my favorite matches of the night. Thank you, Ed, for actually putting some competent fucking graphics in there. It is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I think we both predicted LA Knight was most probably going to win, but you also said that Seth Rollins makes a lot of sense because of the. Do you know what this? Do you know what I've just realized? This premium live event's pissing me off more by how much you got right in this as well. Anyway, as well, but there was a lot more shenanigans that happened in this match than I thought. I didn't think they would pull the trigger. Some of the stuff already. I thought that they would wait a little longer, but they weren't messing around with this one. So, Ed, while I go and turn a fan on because I'm sweating, let me know what you thought of the men's Money in the Bank. My fan just...
I thought this was great. I hate that Seth won this too, but again, it kind of makes the most sense. Seth has the most reason to win. I thought, as I said, I'm gonna go to the Discord so I can pull out word for word the exact wording I used because I think I enjoyed lots of good storytelling in this obscenely overbooked mess of a match. There was a lot of good stuff in this match. There's a lot of good in this. The storytelling throughout this match of Andrade and Penta being friends and Andrade being like, no, you go. And Penta being like, no, you go. And there was a lot of good there. The big spots that they did were great. Jacob Fatu coming out after Braun and Braun came out to go ahead and save Seth. We had Jacob and JC come out to go ahead and save Solo. Made a lot of sense. Was really good. That tag match, give it to me. Put it in my veins. JC Mateo versus and JC Mateo with Jacob Fatu versus Braun and Braun. Give it to me. Give it to me now. Give it to me, please. I know we'll never get it now because Jacob's
It's not happening now.
But God, I want that tag match so bad. All 4 of those big beefy men, those big meaty men slapping meat. Oh,
you gotta
would have been so good. But Jacob Fatu, I hate you Solo. And turning on Solo, that spinning Solo through the ladder.
Can I know I'm interrupting, but I want to talk about Solo. I want to talk about how good this man has got, right? Ever since he took over the reins from Roman after not this year's WrestleMania, last year's WrestleMania, when he built his own bloodline and started bringing that in, and then you could tell that. But then as he was building that, you can tell that he wasn't really at the beginning of it wasn't really being himself. He was trying to be another version of Roman, and then there was that feud with Jey Uso where Jey went, "Can I go to the top rope?" And Solo went, "Yes, go to the top rope, go and do your yeeting." And then as soon as that happened, a character change happened for Solo, where he became mimicky. He was very much taking the piss, but it was funny with his facial expressions. And you put in the chat earlier saying how good Solo's got with his facial expressions. And he's absolutely spot on. I
forgot the word expression, so thank you for making it not the dirty joke that it was that I accidentally left up there saying Solo got really good at facials, end of story.
Yes. I read that, laughed, and went, I know exactly what he meant from that. But no, I think Solo has been phenomenal. And I think what Solo's going to be doing now is we all know where this is leading to. This is leading to Fatu becoming the ultimate Fatu, right? I think that's agreement. He is going to be the ultimate Fatu. He is going to be the head of the table. And I think that there are two superstars that have been injured. One that goes, and the other one misses a low blow, gets your ass off first and then gets you, is going to come back and be on his side. But I'm also very interested.
I wouldn't bet on that side of it. Remember, there's also two other ones that we haven't seen on WWE television yet that are both signed and ready to go. Hikuleu and what's his name? Lance Anawahi are both signed and in the Performance Center.
There's too many of them. I'm not keeping up with them.
Yeah, no, there's two more. So you could do 3 on each side.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come back, and then you've got JC Mateo there, that is going to be... Is he going to choose Solo? Is he going to choose Fatu? Because Solo's going to...
He could walk away from it all altogether because he's not Samoan.
No, yeah, he could literally just go away and just be himself, and do all of that. I'm just... That story has now got more interesting. And we know where this is leading to a WrestleMania match between Jacob and Roman. I'm very interested to see if the United States Championship comes into play, because how long is Fatu going to hold on to that for now? I don't think it's going to be much longer. I don't think, because of the way the story's going to go. I see either dropping at SummerSlam or before, because I feel like
before SummerSlam, because I have, based on somebody else's
Solo versus Fatu at SummerSlam.
I have based on somebody else's idea of a different storyline booking. I have Fatu doing something vastly different towards the end of the year, towards our October, November, December area. I think we might be seeing, as you know who I'm talking about when I say this, Jacob Fatu versus John Cena might be a mighty fine finger-licking match to have towards the end of John Cena's run in December.
Yeah.
So, I still think it should be Carmelo Hayes that ends John Cena's WWE career in December in Boston, but we'll see. But no, I thought this ladder match did everything it needed to do. It was way too overbooked, as all WWE men's Money in the Bank ladder matches are.
It's exactly what it needs to be.
No, it was obscenely overbooked. As Pat
That's why I like it.
It had all the gaga. Pat Patterson, God rest his soul, my friend.
And it needed it. I love it. I love overbooked wild bullshit. And it irritates Bobby. That's why I love it even more.
Yeah, it was everything it needed to be and probably a lot more. But at the end of the day, Seth Rollins has Money in the Bank, which makes a lot of fucking sense. It clears up that we're going to be getting Seth Rollins taking this title from Jey Uso, which again makes sense because of the fact that Jey Uso is great, but we have to transition this title away from him at some point. Seth Rollins with the Money in the Bank makes perfect sense. And then we can continue with the Sammy story. We can continue with the Punk story. We can go ahead and move Jey Uso over to SmackDown to take on John Cena. Yes, Ophelia Payne, you did indeed get your I hate you solo moment. Match was great. 5 stars. Go, move on.
Very much so. I am very interested. Do they do the cash in on Monday after?
I don't think it happens.
I don't know that. No, it's gonna that, or they're not going to do it in Saudi. They're not going to do it then.
Oh, I wouldn't put it
actually,
to do it in Saudi.
Yeah, all right. I'll take that back. So, right, let's get to the main event. If you haven't already, and if you've been watching this all the way through, make sure to hit a like button on OLE YouTube channel and on Mark Talks Wrestling as well, because we're both live on there. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to both of them and give us a follow on the old Twitch, because at the end of the stream we will be showing you the calendar of all the things that have coming up that's happened this week, and something that could be happening tomorrow, which is basically POV with me and Andre and Bobby, and one of us is potentially finding out who's getting Ice Bucket. Great. So make sure you do that as well.
Can I do something? I normally would do it during plugs, but I want to do it while we have some people.
Yeah,
here.
Go for it.
All right. We are going to... I didn't get a chance to do it during Worlds Collide today, but I have finally figured out a way to make it work. Me and Astrid had the wonderful opportunity to interview Javier Bernal, Big Body Javi. this week. Javi is going on his indie run, starting out in the near future. We asked him about the work with Mackenzie Mitchell. And again, Ashley will have this question here for you, and here's Javier's answer. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Interviews with Mackenzie, so that you guys can call that.
That in the PC we have these things called
no audio. Hold on.
Start it again.
Yeah, I'm going to try to figure out why I have no audio.
When you muted yourself and when you unmuted yourself, then we heard it.
All right.
Was watching you in your interviews with Mackenzie, so that you guys can call that. Now, before you know how to
a lot of it's very organic. So I will say this much. The one that I think that I find is set apart from all of them is the Big Body Products interview. And because that in the PC we have these things called promo class where you go in, you got a promo, and you kind of get it, right? And I did that promo by myself in a promo class. I wrote that segment and it went on TV. So a lot of it was like, how can we make this funnier? Or what would be better this way? You know, she's great because she plays a very good straight-faced person. And I'm very, very happy for her that she's doing, she's on TNA and she's doing all the things she's doing. I'm very happy for her. And she's great. I'm always, open to ideas. I think wrestling is a very collaborative experience. And to be honest, like her being there to bounce ideas, how can we make this better? How can we make it funny?
Yeah, so again, you can see the rest of this interview coming up this Monday night. We're very excited for this. The whole interview will be there in its entirety. It is about a 40-minute interview. We had a really good time with them. I did not shorten my questions. I did not ask all of my questions, though, but I did ask the majority of them. He is very well-spoken, and he does like to talk at length, so getting clips was a bit hard because all of his answers are very involved, which is great for us, but at the same time also made clips a bit more difficult. So, but yes, thank you very much, STG. We're very excited for this. Monday night, 5 p.m. on Astrid's YouTube channel, 6 p.m. on the Our Local Establishment YouTube channel. Make sure to check out both interviews. Go ahead and leave a like. We'd really appreciate it. We're getting to the watch hours on the Our Local Establishment side, so please go ahead and make sure you're watching Our Local Establishment. All right, Mark, back to the main event.
No worries. And if you're watching this from the UK on my channel, if you go over to Astrid, it's 5 p.m. Eastern, so it will be 10 p.m. UK time and 11 p.m. It'll be 11 p.m. On our local establishment. So if you're watching this in the UK area, because of the time difference, that's when it's going to be because of the Eastern Standard Time. So make sure if you haven't already, go over there, hit the subscribe, and give a follow on everyone on there as well. Right, let's get to our main event before we end things off. And it was the biggest work in wrestling history. And it's quite simply this. The Logan Paul and John Cena, the Ruin the Wrestling Era team versus the American Nightmare and the Yeet Boy himself, Jey Uso, with a special guest coming in at the end. Thoughts on the match before we get to the end?
It's what John Cena's been doing, and people who don't get the John Cena "I'm here to ruin wrestling" gimmick don't get what happened here, and that's fine. He's not here to have fun. He's not here to entertain you. He's here to ruin wrestling. And I love that that's also going 30 minutes in these matches, being a bit bland, being a bit boring, siding with people like Logan Paul, at least for the half this match before they started having their issues. But we cannot talk about how great it was for all of us to see what it looks like from a wrestler's point of view.
Oh my God.
To take a superplex from the top rope from Cody fucking Rhodes. Because at one point, Logan Paul catches his drone on his hand and then gets flipped by Cody Rhodes in a superplex. And he holds the drone the whole freaking way down. absolutely sensational. Love this. Love the R-Truth at the end. I thought that was great because, again, people forget R-Truth wasn't released. R-Truth was told his contract's not going to be renewed, which means he's more than welcome to come back and forth no matter what he wants to do until that time comes. You're all set. Am I still here?
So, I've just found something interesting on the internet. Yeah, you're still here. So I've just found something very interesting on the internet, which I think needs to be shared with everyone, and it's so he's now not R-Truth anymore. He is now going by, and this is merch. Ron Killings is now
which is his
official merch
his legal name
on his legal name, and he is going by that on the WWE Network. And according to PW Insider, so take that with a pinch of salt, as much as you can. R-Truth is back in WWE and will be going under the name of Ron Killings, the name going forward. His real name, at least internally. The decision to bring him back happened over the past 72 hours. What was happening? So interesting. That is happened all of a sudden. But if you don't know what happened, then everyone was laid out in the middle of the ring, and then someone just jumps in from the crowd, lifts off his hood, and there he is. They're the one that everyone has been chanting for, which before no one gave a shit about, but everyone started chanting for, and then finally was revealed that R-Truth, now known as Ron Killings, is back inside a WWE ring, which could potentially mean that he has a new contract doing something different. There would be a different persona now, by the looks of things, maybe because they're going by his real name and it's not R-Truth. He could talk about it was Little Jimmy the whole time.
He was K-Quick at one point, very early in his WWE career. He then went to what was then NWA TNA, where he was Ron the Truth Killings. Then he came back as Ron Killings, and he quickly transitioned to R-Truth. That's when the What's Up thing started. Then we have all the greatness, the awesome truth, everything else. Auntie with the biddies. Thank you very much, Auntie. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you go follow Auntie on Twitter as she is trying. Not on Twitter. On Twitch, as she is trying to go ahead and get affiliate over there. I'm going to do a shout out on the Twitch side so that Auntie can get some followers, hopefully, because Auntie Collins is doing Love Island content right now on her Twitch. So for all those people who love the Love Island stuff, it's very good.
The UK one's starting soon over here.
Oh yeah? Is Montoya going to be back for that?
Who?
All right, never mind.
I don't. My wife watches the first 3 episodes and then decides whether it's enough for her to give a shit. And then if it is, then I get told every night exactly what happened and who the person I should not like and the person I should support. And then when I do support them, and then she doesn't like them again the next day, and then I get very confused and tell her, just tell me at the end who should have won, who shouldn't have won. The UK one is messy, and they never last ever when they come out of it ever. It's when you got Ekin-Su and Davide. By the way, if you haven't seen the clip, please go and watch the clip. And I know we're going on Love Island chat now, but I have to say this. There was a couple called Davide and Ekin-Su. Ekin-Su tried to play with every man inside that Love Island, and Davide was her partner. And then she was an actress, and then he was Italian, so he got very passionate during the arguments. And he went, "What was it? You're a liar. You're an actress. Get the fuck out." And as soon as that happened, it became the biggest line in the UK. Everyone said it to each other. Anyway, Love Island chat over. Yes, Ron Killings is now back inside of a WWE ring, which, according to PWI Insider, that has been made the decision. Dijak has just put a tweet that he replied to Ron Killings saying, "You're the best. Hope we can run it back, bro." And then he quote tweeted that going, "Guess I can go fuck myself then." I love Dijak. So your thoughts on what the plan? Is this a plan for Saudi Ron Killings versus John Cena? Is this another way to bring back R-Truth? What do you think? We're not going to talk about Cena because we know Cena's match will be Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. It's whoever fills that gap in, most probably at Crown Jewel.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, it will most probably be Logan Paul. Before that, what's
the worst place to do a match? What's the best place to do a match that I care nothing about? Logan Paul versus John Cena, Saudi, where I don't have to watch it if I don't want to.
Yes, very much so. But I will be watching the Saudi because we support them. I do anyway because I want that money. So what do we do with Ron Killings now? Because apparently it's marketable and needs to be better. What is the plan? Okay, then let's rephrase that. I'm rephrasing my own question that I'm saying out loud. What would you do now that he's potentially have re-signed?
The same thing I was doing with him before. You don't do anything different with R-Truth. He's 50 plus years old. He's at the end of his career. Like, I love R-Truth. I think R-Truth's great. But as I said earlier, unpopular take, everything R-Truth was doing, you could do under a Legends contract. He wrestled a couple times a year. Legends contract talent can wrestle. He comes in and goes and does backstage segments. There's no reason why you can't go back to the exact same thing you were doing with them for half the price. Look, you can do whatever you want with R-Truth. He's going to succeed at anything. R-Truth is just that damn good. He'll do everything you want him to do, and he'll do it fantastically. At the end of the day, if he's here, if he's not here, it doesn't really bug me. I wasn't in the camp of we want truth because I saw when people were getting mad that we were letting go of people because of age, and then we decided that R-Truth was 50 plus years old and we didn't need to sign him to a big money new contract. I was like, that makes sense. The IWC is going to agree with this. And the IWC went haywire. We want truth. How dare you get rid of truth? And I'm like, but he can do that under a Legends deal. At the end of the day, it's fine. Like, whatever they want to do with him, I'll be happy. Why? Because I love R-Truth. As long as R-Truth's happy, I'm happy. End of story.
Yeah, very much so. And now we've Logan Paul versus John Cena at Saudi makes absolute sense. Makes so much sense.
Two awful people willing to take the blood money. Makes perfect sense that we put it on in a place that nobody cares about.
Yeah, very much so. Also, I did look at one point for tickets to go out and watch it. Not gonna lie. So very. This is not even a joke either. So this is interesting. So what would you give now that we've gone through it all? Ron Killings is now back, formerly known as R-Truth, or is currently known as R-Truth. We're going to get the funny segments back. The whole internet has been played. I love it. I still think, I don't care if it says the last 72 hours. In my brain, I'm staying with Triple H and R-Truth planned this the whole time. In my brain, it makes it funnier and makes it better for my brain for this. What was your overall reactions to Money in the Bank? And I'm going to add another question to this on top of that. What are you mainly looking forward to now with the stories that have been made during and after Money in the Bank? What are you looking forward to most?
I think I'm most looking forward to whatever happens between Roxanne and Judgment Day. I still think that's my favorite story right now in WWE on the main roster is this Roxanne, Dom, Liv, Finn thing in Judgment Day. That's my favorite thing going on right now. After that, it's this Seth Rollins faction. I love to hate them. I love to yell at them. I love to boo them. I love to yell at my TV screen when they come on because they're heels, and I buy into this whole I hate the heels thing. I think that's great. I think there's a lot of good there, especially with Seth with the briefcase, because Seth is such a tool bag that he's going to make this fantastic because his music is going to hit every time Jey Uso's out there getting beat down. And he may never appear. He may walk out and just hold the briefcase. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fantastic. Money in the Bank was a good show. I still think the better show was Worlds Collide. I had more fun watching Worlds Collide than I did Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think I agree. But I also will say that I absolutely love the batshit crazy men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I just love batshit crazy. And I
think the
think that
women went hell for leather, and we didn't mention this, and we should have. All 6 of those women taking all of those big ass fucking dangerous moves on those ladders. I mean, we had a double pop rocks with Alexa and Roxanne on Stephanie and Giulia. We had a Riptide and a Sister Abigail.
Yeah. Sister Abigail
on the
DDT.
sides of the ladders. Yeah. And then we had Stephanie Vaquer doing Devil's Kiss, as you did mention, on top of the ladder to Rhea Ripley. Like, those women went out there and fucking put their bodies through hell for this.
I think we can all agree the best wrestling Money in the Bank match was the women's. And I think the most batshit crazy was the men's. I think the Dom match was very much for AAA to try and get them more well known. Becky Lynch is very much for winning that title to try and get Bayley back. And you've got the main event where you got Ron Killings back, or R-Truth, as well as more storylines going into Saudi. And then you've got Jey Uso, who has to now try and recover to go against a match against Gunther, who then has to look out for Seth Rollins. You've got Cody Rhodes. Where does he go here? How does he get? Do they start him from the top? Will there be superstars that stop him now?
He's going to win King of the Ring. He's going to win King of the Ring, Clement.
He is, isn't he? He's very much going to win that, and it's going to.
He's going to win it for the second straight year.
Yeah, because he shouldn't have won it fucking last year, and that annoyed me. But yes.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Gunther won it last year. I apologize.
No, Gunther didn't win it. Oh, yes, he did win it. Yes, he did win it. It was the other one. Yes, it was the other one. I can't. The Night of Champions. That the Cody one.
The Saudi Arabia Championship champion.
Yeah, that they won for that. So before we end, Edward, I have got it here. What have you got coming up, and where can people find you?
You can go ahead and see me on EdFrez12584 on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can catch me, like I said, this Monday night. Me and Asher will be debuting the Javi interview. I keep saying Javier Bernal because it's what I know about. It's Javi, core kid Javi. Very excited for this. It was a great time. We had a ball. He was shouting at us out in his live stream earlier today, which was really exciting and cool. He was talking about how much fun he had during the interview. Yeah, I can't wait for that to come out. Tuesday night, we've got Ethan Page versus Sean Legacy. We've got all kinds of great stuff happening on that show. I know there are other matches announced that I honestly can't remember at this moment, and it's fine because I don't need to. But you can catch us right after NXT on Tuesday nights. And then Marvel Talk next Wednesday. So you can see 3 doses of Ed this week, as me and Andre will be back with the permission of Peggy, our Empress of Marvel Talk, who is the official host of Marvel Talk now. I don't know if you've caught those jokes, but yes, Peggy is indeed the host of Marvel Talk. And me and Andre are allowed to show up when we can. And we'll be talking about Thor Ragnarok. It's an MCU rebound episode. So Thor Ragnarok is coming up as we get ready to do Ironheart. Ironheart will start at the end of June. So we're very excited for that.
Oh, I look forward to that. For me, we had one of the greatest double matches today. You had Jacob Fatu versus Obafemi, which I think Ed needs to go and watch that one on WWE 2K25 on Mark Talks Wrestling. And not only that, we had one of the greatest Extreme Rules hardcore matches between Giulia and Rhea Ripley. Was along with the No Mercy card, has been exceptional, building to tomorrow's main event where we will be having Dirty Dom Mysterio defending his NXT championship, and in the main event we have Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns for the WWE championship. And the game decides to fuck me over. So make sure you go and check that out. And on Mark Talks Football, we are going around the world, where me and Bobby, where we're going to be doing Football Manager, going to teams around the world. We're currently in Indonesia, trying to win trophies there. We've just moved to a new club in Indonesia who are top of the league. So make sure you go and check that out as well. Any final words you would like to say before we end the show, Edward?
It's been good to be on screen with you again. It's been a while since you've done this. It'll be fun.
It has, and funnily, they've let us do this twice in a row, which is once. Well, we've done it twice in one day.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. For both things, it was because there was nobody else to do it with us, and so we decided to do this together.
Well, the first one was very much of you messaged me going, do you want to come on with me? I went, yes. And a few days before that, we messaged each other going, should we do Money in the Bank? And that was basically how we did for us. But that's how we do it sometimes, me and Ed. We just rock up on the day for it. But if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe. And we're going to end here with the calendar that happened this week. So make sure if you haven't already to go back and check on something that you might have seen. And tomorrow on POV, me and Bobby are going to be and Andre are going to be doing Premier League prediction results. And we will find out the loser who has to do the Ice Bucket Challenge. There has been a massive topic of discussion that happened in the WNBA that needs to be addressed that we will be discussing. We will be talking NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, football transfers that are happening, a manager who's left for Saudi for a ridiculous amount of money. So we're going to be discussing all of that tomorrow. So make sure you are there for that. But we're Love with Care. My name's been Mark. That has been OLED. And we will see you guys very, very soon.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Things are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming, for the sake of all your lies.